What's up, guys? My name is Ragu Adibatla, and this is Talking Funny. What's up, guys? My name is Ragu Adibatla. This is Thursday, another episode of Talking Funny. My guest tonight is Carly Polistina. I met her last year during the crazy pandemic when doing Zoom shows. She was part of a contest from Flapper. She did really well. And she does a lot with theater, writing, improv, impersonations, she does everything, and I can't wait to hear more about her and her journey. Here she is, Carly Polistina. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can you hear me all right? Everything good on your end?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for being on. I've wanted to have you on. You do a lot with theater. You do acting. You write sketch comedy. You've done improv. I mean, I was looking through your website and everything that you've done. Looked at clips and hilarious stuff. I love your clips that you put out. The content that you put out on Instagram and everything. First, I wanted to go to the stand-up comedy part of your life because I wanted to ask you first how you got into stand-up comedy. You're doing a lot, and how'd that piece come into your life?
I was in school for acting, and people kept kind of telling me, they're like, "You're funny, you should try that," which normally other stand-up comedians will tell you, like, just because you're funny does not mean you should try it.
Right.
But it's right. So
Right.
I was thinking about it, and I was writing some stuff down randomly, and then we had a show every at the end of every semester where you could kind of perform whatever you wanted, because like that's what theater kids do for fun, more of their major.
Right.
And I think I'm gonna try stand-up. And so I tried it, or I signed up to try it, and I told the person who was hosting, can I please go towards the beginning of the night? I'm very nervous. I don't think it will go well. And he was like, yeah, sure, of course. I was last. But then it was a really fun thing, and it went well. And so from there, I started trying it out. Like, I did it a few times. I didn't do it seriously because it was school and I was busy and there wasn't a lot around. But so I did it kind of very casually for a couple of years. Like, I don't really consider that my start. Sure. And then after I graduated, and I'm local to New York now. And I was like, you know what? I think I should kind of try to jump back into this and do it for real, because I think this feels like the right path. And so I started diving into it even further and more seriously. And then the pandemic hit, and that's where we're at now.
Right. Definitely. That was a crazy thing for everybody. And I'm going to get into that later because everybody's dealt with it different ways. And I wanted to, so you did stand-up comedy. When did you start theater? Was that before the comedy?
I have been doing theater forever. I really don't remember when I wasn't a theater kid through and through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you started theater early on.
Yes. Like very like I guess like first grade, like there's been all the way through. Yeah.
Ever since you could talk. They put you on stage, gave you lines. Wow. So you did a lot of great plays like Macbeth, and you even wrote a play, right?
Tell us about
that. Yeah.
I wrote it the summer before I graduated college.
Okay.
It kind of explores different kind of the pressures on women. It's a lot about like eating disorders, toxic friendships. It kind of goes in and out of that.
Okay.
The, yeah, and then I submitted it. Yeah, it's not a light piece. Like I go back now and like, you write anything and you go back, you're like, I would love to change all of this, but but at the time,
I wouldn't change it because like that makes sense. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, you look at any comedy right now, even comedian actors, they've done some, you know, dark roles, or they've done some, you know, it's a variety, which I think is great that you did, you know, that kind of a play as well, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely. It was like, I don't mean like, I just mean like the writing in between. Like I'm glad I did it. It was very it's a lot of people still felt very, people left and they were like, are you okay?
Wow. You mean after they saw the play, like they were left with this emotion, or that's pretty cool. I mean, that's really the aim of art, right? You leave with an emotion, whether you're looking at an art piece or you're, you know, something. And I think you've done your part. I think that's pretty cool that there was something that they could take away from there.
Totally.
Yeah, no, that's great. So when did you decide that this is what you wanted to do? You want to do more plays, you know, because you started when you were a kid, and a lot of times these interests go away and they come back, but you've kept them, right? You've kind of just kept going. What made you keep going in theater?
Yeah, I really don't know. I was doing like, before I was doing real, I guess I did my first real show around around first grade-ish. And then from there, I would do kind of a show a summer every year at least. And then I started, I guess at some point I was like, I want to say it was around 6th grade. Like I know I had a moment in 6th grade where I was like, I want to do more shows than this. But I even before that, I was also starting to do some during the year. And then my friends and I were writing shows and putting them on. They were terrible, but like they were happening. And then it just kind of spiraled from there, where it was like, I want to be doing this all of the time. I was like I tried doing showcases. I was really trying to do everything I could. And I don't come from a theater family, so it was really all me being like, I'm trying. I look back and I'm like, no, you were doing everything.
I love how you said you did your first show in 1st grade. I was expecting you to say my first real show like later, but you had it right away. I'm like, oh, that's pretty impressive.
Right off the bat, we're in there.
Mozart of theater. My first, when I was really young. No, that's cool. Wow.
Very fun.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I was looking at it, your resume. You did a lot of great plays. And then you did a lot of improv, right? So Upright Citizens Brigade. When did you start the classes there?
I actually didn't start them until the pandemic started.
Okay.
I thought I was being very clever, and I was like, a strategy move. When this very short few-week pandemic is over, I will have completed level 1 of both sketch and improv online, and then when the world reopens, I can go to the physical classes in New York and be on level 2 already. What a brilliant plan! Because I done a lot of improv before that, and I was like, oh, but like you got to do UCB. So I was trying it, and then when I was a few weeks into the first class, they were like, hi, so UCB New York is closed.
Yeah. Right.
And pandemic last forever. So what I did end up doing, I have actually only done level 1 of UCB improv, but I finished the sketch program there, which was fun. I think I finished it, unless secret level, I don't know. But
right. Wow. So you started that improv right before the pandemic hit, the level 1. And then you wanted to, of course, couldn't do, but you have plans to do level 2 or keep going, or now that things are opening up?
I do have plans to. I really want to.
Yeah.
I yeah, I really want to. It just I haven't found time yet because everything started
Right.
picking up and it was
Okay.
like, "Wah." But yeah.
Right. No, that's great. You're so you write a lot, and you wrote a TV series. I was reading about that you wanna get picked up. And does writing a play or the TV series, has that helped you in any way in writing comedy like material?
Definitely. I
Yeah.
almost think that it's almost the other way around. Like, I mean,
Okay.
now they're at a point where they kind of go back and forth,
Okay.
but
Okay. That's fair. Yeah.
yeah, like the more into because I was playwriting and scene writing before I was even attempting stand up.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now I'm at a point where I've written a lot of scripts and stuff, and well, I guess does kind of go back and forth because then you go
Yeah.
back to stand up and you're like, oh, I get how to do like the rhythm and time the moment and all those things, and then
Yeah.
you go back into writing. Like the series that my friend and I wrote, we're actually she actually just left
Right.
this my house, but she
Okay.
we've decided that we're really rerouting. We're putting our efforts into like this different project because we've just had so much time and experience now that we're like, we can do better than this.
Sure.
And so now
Yeah.
having all of that like stand up crafting wise to be able to
Okay.
put that into like what we're writing now, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I know how to make this hit where like maybe I didn't before, which I think. So I guess I
Okay.
forget which order you said the question originally, but both is the answer.
Oh no, not really. Or I guess what I meant, yeah, no, you answered it because like
Oh,
you know, because it's funny because when I first saw you perform, I knew right away that you must be doing theater because I could tell that the way you do your jokes and the way because you have the character, you know, the way you tell the joke, right? About like the date joke, the way you know you do the like the conversation, you know, that joke you have about the eavesdropping, the
yeah.
yeah, it's really funny. And there's just even just that one I could tell that you're in character, you do the, you know, because you from a theater background, um but which probably helps a lot because you know, and it lifts the jokes too, you know, for you. And so the other thing that you do really well, which I think is amazing, is impersonations. I've seen a ton of them that you post on. By the way, I was looking at them again, and my daughter's into Harry Potter. Like she loves it. She loved the Myrtle, like the Myrtle.
I'm so glad.
Because like we had a road trip to my parents' place last year, you know, last August, and on the back seat, all I could hear is my daughter going over. Sure, let's all throw books of Myrtle because she can't feel any. Like over and over, like these Harry. I'm like, what is that? Like, what are you talking about? And then I was like, oh, that's hilarious. And by the way, she thought you did an amazing job. Like you sound exactly like the character, and it was pretty cool. So,
Oh, I'm so glad. That's great.
so there, and you do a lot of them. Now, when did you start that trend? I mean,
Um,
not trend. I mean, like that is
yeah. Oh, and
that
I
thing.
invented the idea of impressions. I uh, well, what happened was I had there were a few that I had done and I knew I could do, like
Okay.
Laura Dreyfus, who was on in Dear Evan Hansen and The Politician. Not a lot of people know her,
Uh-huh.
but Moaning Myrtle, Stacey Dilson. Like there are a few from just life that I'm like, you know what, I can do an impression of this person, Bernie Sanders, who I haven't made a video for.
Right.
I should get there. But it was really that the pandemic started and
Yeah.
I really cannot go without having a project.
Okay.
That's just like it's
Okay.
just not, I can't do it. I tried, it
Yeah.
wasn't. And I was like, you know, if we just set ourselves some things. And also, it was something I had wanted to do because,
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's crazy for any comedian to be like, you know what? Like, why not keep something like an SNL or something sketch-wise in the cards? So if we're
Right.
looking at that picture, I was like, you know, I could always start trying to put some of these impressions online. And even if it doesn't amount to anything, it may lead in a
Right.
different direction.
Right.
So I figured I'd try it once and then see if people were like, please stop posting things on the internet. Thank you. But they went pretty well. So,
Yeah.
and pretty well is still not like, whoa, amazing. But it was like, they went pretty well. And I was like having fun. And then that kind of
Yeah.
let me explore something I hadn't really explored before.
Right.
And it was like, you know what? I actually have fun doing this. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Right. No, you can tell you enjoy it and you have fun with it. How do you pick who you want to impersonate? Do you know, do you already know, you pick people who you know how to impersonate, or do you sometimes learn how to impersonate a character?
At the beginning, I was really choosing between people that I either knew how to impersonate, or I was like, they'll be super easy. Like, I know I can do it.
Okay.
But I'm not, this isn't what you're supposed to do when you're in this industry. But I am so bad with like contemporary movies and people's names and who's who. Like, I'm not good at it. So I quickly ran out of people. So then I started asking for like suggestions. But it also helped. So I've started kind of trying harder to learn people. And sometimes it does not go well. Like, there are ones that I look back, I'm like, Emma Stone, my first video of her, I'm like, this needs a lot of improvement. I think it's gotten better, but I try not to post things that are just finished products, simply because if I did, I would never post anything.
Okay.
I've kind of fallen, again, everything's gotten crazy, so I've kind of fallen off my own timetable with them, but I want to get back to it a little. But I definitely do pick people that I really don't know how to do and like learn new ones.
Okay. That's cool. Do you think like improv kind of ties into that, where you kind of take some skills from there and, okay, I have this actress, now what am I going to say? You know, how I got to get into that character now. And because it's not scripted, right? You're just kind of just talking.
Yes.
Right.
It's kind of a combination of things. What I would do earlier on, I think improv definitely helps. I think acting school helps. Like, because we did so much voice work at school where, sound like this, like different like voice things. Acting school teaches you life skills. Anyway. But we got into a lot of those, and those help build it. At the I've been trying to move more into scripting, more character sketch type things with the impressions. But earlier on, what it was more so, when I was more scared with them, honestly, like, which is what it was, I was finding old interviews of them and pretty much saying what they were saying verbatim. But but I would throw in things that they are just like jokes that they didn't say, but now I can say it like them.
Right, exactly.
So I guess it wasn't really scripted, but specifically early on, I was writing down things they said, talking a bunch, and then like chopping it up and putting what worked together. And
okay. That's awesome. I love that process that you go through for that. I think, it's well researched, and it shows. I mean, I've seen a lot of them. And by the way, you guys watching, and check it out on Carly's Instagram. It's right there at Carly Polistina. You can check out all her impersonations and everything. Now with regards to theater, and who were kind of your influencers in your life? Like, who did you watch, or to get some kind of inspiration, or who were you looking at?
This, like, I'm gonna have what an excellent question. And I'm supposed to have an answer to this one. I really am.
That's okay. Go ahead.
It's such a pretentious answer, and I feel bad about it. But again, like, I really didn't watch, I really wasn't allowed to watch TV when I was younger. Like, literally why am I here? I mean, of course, we weren't people without a TV on like principle. It was just like, we had one, and it was like, you're not allowed to watch TV during the day or during the week or at night. And it's like, that's all of the times. So like, we just weren't.
That's all of it.
That's all of it.
That's the whole day, mom and dad. Like, seriously.
Like, that's all of
That's
it.
hilarious.
Every single time. And the shows I was allowed to watch were like the random old British comedies that they watched. Like, and that's not
British
like,
comedy is great though, isn't
oh,
it?
so good. And I think it really kind of made me, granted, there
Yeah.
were like a handful of like PBS or other things, but it's so
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of people being like, oh, you saw
Yeah.
the episode of SpongeBob? I'm like, I did not. So like, but I really
Right.
think that that's what shaped it. And that's like as I don't know if any of these will mean anything, but like the Vicar of Dibley,
Okay.
keeping up appearances as time goes by.
Those,
With
yeah, I know those last two that I've heard of though. They're pretty funny.
They're so funny, but like that's
Yeah.
what I was allowed to watch. So I feel like but it wasn't even TV. I actually weirdly think it was more books that got me into theater.
Okay.
Hot explanation, I promise.
Right.
Like, I was doing theater because I think it was like, oh, my mom signed me up for an activity. Let's go do this activity. And then you kind of go from there. But then when I like reading stuff, and I really kind of came to this realization when I was feeling so dead because of the pandemic. And I was still reading before, but I've been reading constantly since because I had more time again. And it got me so motivated to be doing theater again. And I was like, oh yeah, like I recognize this. And I think it's that just wanting to be able to like be in those moments out loud.
Yeah.
Like what I want. So there's really like now as an adult, I can look and be like, oh my God, if I could have the career of like a Tina Fey or an Amy Poehler, like that would be
right.
Like that's perfect. Like inspirational, like you're the dream, like let's go. That I probably around high school, I could have told you those names.
Right.
But before, like what actually started me, I don't think actually was seeing anyone. It was being like, I like this. I would like to do this, which I think is a really obnoxious answer, but it is mine.
I don't think so. I mean, it is what drives you, right? It is what makes you start. I mean, that's really what counts. So I think people get their inspiration from many different people, many sources. Like it's, there's no right or wrong. Like comedy, stand-up comedy, you don't have to watch stand-up comedy a lot of times. You can get yours, something else. Which, by the way, I wanted to ask you was with your stand-up comedy, is there any comics that you watched or who were your inspirations with stand-up comedy?
Yeah, my biggest was John Mulaney across the board. Not even was, like still currently is, because he was really the first. I was in high school, and then when somebody first I remember mentioned even like kind of the idea of stand-up to me, and then it was college where it was like I think I want to say New in Town, his special came out when I was in college, and then I was surrounded by people who were just like quoting him all the time, and so I ended up watching that, and there were so many things that he said. One, I was gonna say that were funny, like no duh, like they were so everything was funny, but he had so many. He just told so many stories that were funny that I related to on such a very real level. Because I also had like the Catholic upbringing, and he would like there were just I don't even remember what they were, but I'm like I can do what you're doing, like not like him. I don't mean it to sound like that. He is a comedy god, but I just mean like tell a story that is funny. I'm like, I've done that before. Like that seems far more achievable to me than the people like Bill Burrs who were like this. I'm like, I'm not sure I have that in me. But when John Mulaney was like, we've all written a happy birthday sign, it's like I've also written I could talk about a birthday sign. Like that's something I have that in my wheelhouse.
That's awesome though, because there's this interview with Jerry Seinfeld where he says, when he first started, he was looking at these comics, and what he said was, you could look at a certain comic and be like, hey, I can do what he's doing. It's something that, it's I got jokes like that. Like this must be, maybe it's something I can do. That's how he started. That's what he was doing. And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you watch comics who you could relate to, you know, and that gives you more motivation, you know. Because yeah, you look at some comics and you're like, yeah, there's no way I can be like that kind of, you know, you can't look at one-liners if you don't want to be a one-liner comic, you know.
Totally.
So yeah, so that's great that you know. I wanted to talk about, so you oh yeah, so I wanted to ask you, you wrote it was something about winning residency at Broadway Comedy Club. I was just curious what that means.
Oh yeah. So there's this show at Broadway Comedy Club called The Industry Room, where
Okay.
you have to like bring a few people, but you go, you perform 5 minutes, and the booker is watching. And
Okay.
then one or like a I think it's like one or two people. I'm not sure. I believe that's it though. But if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Will get a residency with the club, which means that you don't have to bring anyone. But over
Okay.
the next like month or 2 months, you're gonna have a few shows where you can do a range of times. Or I think I did like some 7 minute sets, some 5 minute sets, but perform
Okay.
shows with like professional comedians.
Okay,
So
I see.
yeah, so that you're getting more exposure and more time on stage, and then you have the bookers watching you, and then hopefully it leads to you getting passed at the club. So it's kind of
I see.
yeah, like you don't have. There's people who I don't think go through that way, but it
Okay.
is kind of an interim step to being like, okay, I'm not at this club. I was a resident at this club. Question mark stage I'm in right now.
Right.
At this
Right.
club. Uh,
I see. So does that because I was watching you ever watch Crashing?
yes.
So yeah, you know how when he's barking, getting people in, and that was how he could get stage time. Was that what that first stage was? Like, is that what it kind of is before you get a residency, or how does?
It's not barking, but it is a
Okay.
bringer. You do have to
Oh,
bring.
so it's just a bringer. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, so you're just bringing friends and okay, I see. But that's pretty cool though. You so then you're just able to just do spots, you know, without having to, you know, and it's so hard to bring friends to shows all the time. I mean, they would just be, I already saw you. Like, why do like,
I'm running out of brownie points. I'm like, oh my god.
it's so funny. I have you know, I have friends, I mean, that I try to bring and this, and I think the one common thing is, well, I'll come back when you got new material. Give me the new material. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm writing right now, but I'm not like Jerry Seinfeld. Like, give me some time.
Give me a minute. No, my friends are too nice. Like I know that my friends are so kind. I can't. Like I know they've
That's
seen this
awesome.
movie 100 times, and they're like, "That was so funny." I'm like, "I'm so sorry." Um,
Oh, that's hilarious. I think everybody has like the same kind of experiences. It's funny with friends and yeah, bringer shows are interesting, you know. I mean, I always try to bring people anyways, but no, that's great. And so now so last year you were very busy in the pandemic. Like you did a lot. You were a big fan of Zoom shows. That's how I met you. And I met a lot of comics. You know, and you were very doing a lot for Flappers, which is awesome. And you got to headline there, which is really great, the virtual show. And so now you're going to be part of the Burbank Comedy Festival, which is awesome. Finally saw your name on there, which is great. I'm glad that worked out. But that's cool. That's cool. Have you, so you've done festivals before, right? I think
I
you,
have
or no.
I have only been part of, let me make sure what I'm saying is true, but I think it is. I have been part of festivals, but they've only been Zoom festivals.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or they were a live festival that I applied for, and I was like, I'm at this festival.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's moving to Zoom. And I was like, I'm not at this festival.
Same here. Same here. My first festival turned into a Zoom. That was at one from San Diego. And I was like, great. And then, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna do this because it's there and it's cool. And So that's great that you're a fan of Zoom shows. I know a lot of comics did not want to. They sat this one out. What was your motivation through the Zoom shows? Because it's definitely not like a real audience, but there's a lot we all got out of it. What was your experience with it?
Well, like I like I said earlier, I can't not have a project.
That's, that's true.
So that
Yeah.
is a bit of where I come from with them. But
Okay.
the other thing with it is like, and also again, like I've been performing my entire life. Like I can't stop. And
Yeah.
I'm making this sound very eager, but it's like stand-up was the only thing that was still offering a way to do it. And it's like
Okay.
is
Okay.
amazing. Like, and also, and not to say like, I think because there were people we were doing, like people at the beginning, especially were doing Zoom plays, Zoom
Yeah.
readings of plays, and we kind of cycled through
Oh,
that.
there's my little kid.
Oh, child, hello.
What's up? I can't talk to you right now. You gotta go out. Yes. Welcome to Productions at Home. 1 second. You guys out right now, please. Okay. Sit out for a second. I'm sorry. Can you give him a break for it? All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of parenthood. And if you have a production at home, that's usually how it goes. I wish I was like Conan O'Brien or I'm sorry about that.
Oh, not at all. My parents, I didn't even notice. My parents actually walked into this room before, and my mom was like, "Hello," and I was going with this. Oh, I'm in here. And it took her like 5 minutes. So
that
like
is
really.
hilarious. Oh man. So you were talking about Zoom shows. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh my God, no problem. But yeah, Zoom comedy was
Yeah.
such a great way to like keep things happening and keep
Right.
people laughing just through things. Like, yes, the audience was different, but like I don't have anything against anyone who like said no to Zoom, whether it
Yeah.
be just because like it's not their thing, mental health,
Right.
go for it, do whatever you need to do.
Right.
But like I think everyone was like, Zoom comedy is not it at all. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's different, but it's still stand up. Like I
Right.
feel like like I met you, which was great. Family's a
Right.
big fan, by the way, of you. And like there's still so many people you can meet and other comedians. Like I have
Exactly.
met more comedians than I would have met ever in one Zoom mic because half
Right.
of them there were like 35 people sometimes, not really, but like there will be like so many people,
Yeah.
and some are from Ontario and some are from Texas.
Right.
And like I would have
Exactly.
been in my little bubble. On top of that, with Zoom shows, like Zoom mics tend to be free. So
Right.
cost effective wise, I was hitting like 10 mics a week on
Right. Right.
very like
Of course.
on an acting teacher's salary, which I don't know if I could have
Right.
done otherwise, which let me improve
Right.
faster. When you're doing Zoom shows, and it's like I have now performed at like technically it is technical, but no one can take it away from me. I've technically performed like at comedy clubs kind of across the country,
Yeah. Of
like
course. Of
from my
course.
own house. And like I wouldn't
Of course.
at where I am or where I started before this pandemic was, like I really think it's hopefully it keeps going. That's not a pending anxiety. It's fine. But I really think it's taken
Right.
like where I was before and moved me up maybe 3 steps where I would have moved up 1 by this point, simply
Right.
because of the exposure that Zoom shows give.
Oh,
But yeah,
of course. Of course.
like,
I
there's
mean,
nothing like a real thing, but gotta love a Zoom show.
exactly. I think it's definitely an avenue that opened up during the pandemic real quickly too. And I love the way especially Flappers was doing it. Like it was great the amount of opportunities the club gave. and the networking. I mean, you meet comics from everywhere and you got messages going, hey, if you're ever in Texas, Austin, let me know. Like, and I would have never met anyone from Austin if it was, just me here going to clubs or, and, but yeah, I mean, yeah, the audience is, as you said, different. It's half the mics are off, the cams are off, but I think in my head, I just kept thinking, I'm killing, keep going. I'm like, and I'm just like, but I loved it. I love the Zoom shows and things are opening up. I know New York, Carolines is back and everything is in action. And you said you're in New York now?
I'm just outside of New York, but I'm commuting in and out right now. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, sounds good. And have you done now when the live shows started opening up? Did you start doing some right away, or when have you done a lot of live shows?
Yeah, I did jump right back in.
Okay.
I was also I am from Connecticut, and Connecticut
okay
a bit more open than New York.
Okay. You go and see how to okay, go. He's 4 and he's hilarious as well. They both tell me how I do.
That's amazing. You should bring him on.
I should. I think by now, next time he walks in, I'm just gonna have him just sit here and that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, no, you were saying about live shows. So you started doing them when they started opening up?
Okay. Yes. Connecticut was having a few a bit earlier on. Like they were all very distanced and safe and in weird locations.
Okay.
And then New York opened, and I actually had my industry room show for Broadway Comedy Club.
Okay.
If New York opened on Friday, my show was on Saturday, I believe it was. So I was really right in there. I was like, okay, nice. But yeah, I've been trying to jump back in.
Nice. Yeah, no, definitely. It's a great feeling to be back out there in front of an audience, and I think, did you think now, I know you were pretty active on the Zoom and everything, but what were your thoughts as stuff opened up? Did you think, oh my God, this is going to set me back a little bit? Or, were you excited about things opening up and like, this was an opportunity, or what were your thoughts? After being a long virtual, thing?
I'm definitely I'm still kind of in it. Like I'm very excited. Yeah. There are so many things that are happening could happen. And even through the year, it's like, oh, I've seen where so many places are that you can like latch onto. I think I definitely have had a rolling anxiety throughout all of it, that it's like, yeah, but what if the world opens back up and everyone stops laughing at you? And it's like, that's interesting. But
right.
But I also am like, I don't know. I think in reality, I'm very excited and everything's just out there. And I think that comes with recognition that anxiety just morphs no matter how well or poorly things are going. Like back when Zoom was happening, or Zoom was happening even more, like during the pandemic, it's like, I'm not doing anything. Back before that, it was, I guess I just haven't, I guess I'm constantly worried I'm not doing enough. So that I think that's the new form that takes, just like, oh, well, now that things are open, you're not doing enough live stuff. But it's like, no, I am. And things are still reopening. Like that's what's happening. So basically, that's a long-winded way of saying I'm excited.
No, that's awesome. That's a great way to get back into it. And I think there's a lot of opportunities out there, and new things, are happening. New shows, people are, everybody's excited to be back out there. Chicago's opened up, everything's full capacity. So it's a great time. I think, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think my one fear, and I don't know if you had this, was like, oh my God, I'm doing these shows now at, the virtual, at this place, at that place. once it's opened up, how am I going to get back out there? Like, back to the club. I mean, we have this opportunity now to go to Flappers, which I think is exciting. We've done virtual shows. Now we're going to be actually on that stage. But did you have that fear as well, where it's like things are going to open up, these virtual shows are going to be done, and
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I really have to tip my hat to the state of California, because as far as Zoom shows and Zoom, I know F Comedy Club, I'm still hosting a virtual mic through them. They did a phenomenal job. Nice. I know Buddha had one that's New York based that you had to pay for. I mean, not to give or take anything away from them. You do to stay open. That being said, California hands down did the best job of being open during this pandemic. And as somebody that's New York based is so annoying. It's like
I get it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like everyone, that is the scary thing. And that's one of the big reasons that the second things opened, I was trying to like jump on to anyone who's doing like a new show or anything in New York, because there were Flappers, especially like bar none, did an amazing job. There's another kind of organization that they were more all over the place, but the show up, go up mics, I think are kind of California based. Really California, because they're just had so many online mics and online shows and online everything that they really kept themselves going online, when New York, in a very New York way, was like, not live, we're not doing it. And it's like, okay, but then what are we to do? So that is the hard thing. Again, the weird like blessing and like flip around of it is like Grand Comedy Festival, which part of the reason, like, I have been virtually here too many times not to at least throw
right. I know. I think I did a lot of the Flappers shows were fun. It was great, meeting everybody, and now we're gonna see them in person, which is great. And they did a phenomenal job. The mics, and the auditions, and the contest was hilarious. I really enjoyed that. And you got second place, which is awesome. You went to the finals, which is really cool. The Super, what do they got? The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl finals.
Yeah, right. No, that's awesome. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this was hilarious. I saw on your site, Kevin, the coolest fifth grader, and Emerald, not like a gem. And then there was the other one where you're at a dinner at this author's dinner.
Edgar Allan
Poe. What was that? Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe. Now these three, I was looking at them like, oh my God, these are hilarious. What? So Kevin, the coolest fifth grader, what? How did you come up with? Talk to us about that.
Okay, so before I say that, quick plug: the show I got second in, Ragu got first in, just so that your people know, because you would say whatever.
Which one's this?
Yeah, I was backtracking and saying the Flappers show contest that we were in together. You said and I was like, I wanted your listeners to know that you came in first.
Oh, for that. Oh yeah. I see what. But you went to the finals.
But what? Oh, so Kevin, basically, here's Kevin grew. There's really like one improv scene where it was in college, and I just came out to do an improv scene, and I think the only thing I did the entire time was stand there and go like, yeah, and then it was not great, but it was funny.
Right.
And from there, I kind of just, I'm going to sound psycho, but this is what it is. Like, I kind of just I'd be in conversations with someone, and people would say things that were like, I'm like, I don't know how to respond to that. So I'd be like, yeah, man, like, you know what's happening. What's up? And then slowly but surely, like, that character kind of developed, and it became Kevin. Yeah. And then Kevin started taking on the attributes of like some of my middle school memories of like, like I have this vivid memory of a middle school boy, or like the middle school boys when I was in middle school. I'd be walking to class and standing in front of the stairs, comparing scabs. This isn't written. I put it in there, but like this is a memory I have. They were all like, "Oh
Okay.
no, I got this from my longboard. I got this from my longboard," and they're just comparing scabs they got on their longboards. I'm like, "Do you have any like?" What is this? And so from there, Kevin just kind of kept like spiraling and became like
Right.
this fifth grade boy who is just kind of like he's just there when he just thinks he's really cool and he's just
Right.
not.
Right.
I think he might be my best friend. Not really. But yeah, that's kind of where he came about.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I saw those videos, and I mean, you can't help but laugh, and it's a great character. Definitely check it out, guys. It's and then all the other videos, that you put out there, and you do put out a lot of content, which is great. And you keep yourself busy. That's
true.
always working, always doing something, which is awesome. What do you have coming up? What do you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about?
Well, if you're in the New York area, I'm going to be at Broadway Comedy Club again on the 10th.
Okay.
Also, just in general, check out my TikTok, very 2020.
Yes.
TikTok, Instagram. That's really the whole thing. Share the things that are there, or don't. I can't.
Right.
Thank you.
You're on Instagram at Carly Polistina. And definitely you have a lot on your Instagram. Let's see, is there anything I missed? No, but I want to get into a really cool segment now. It's called Ragu's Hot Sauce Seat. It's a bunch of random questions, and you just have to answer it, whatever comes to the top of your head, or you can think about it. And these are the same questions I've been asking all the comics. I just like to hear the different answers. I've gotten all kinds of crazy ones. Oh, some deep. Some of them led to philosophical conversations, which I don't know how, but you'll understand. But here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
I know you're very confused and you don't know what this. Don't worry, it's really not that bad. All right, here we go. Number one. Name something you can do with a pencil besides write with it.
I can put up my hair with it.
Awesome. That's what a lot of mostly women had that answer, and like maybe one guy, I'm not sure. I've also gotten you could stab someone with it. A couple of people have said that.
Fair.
Scary.
Yeah.
One person said you could erase with it. I was like, no, you can't say that. That's too
question.
That's functional. All right, here we go. Number two. If there was a movie made about you, this is perfect for you. This question is like, I think it's been waiting to be answered by you. If there was a movie made about you, who would you want to be playing you?
Well, first choice me, but
first choice you.
First choice me. I'm probably out of work. I need a job, but
that works.
If I were to answer like with a real person, what's oh my god, not that person, but actually no, that person works out. Like honestly, I just think the closest thing we could do is like dream world. Like I'm just thinking like who I would actually want to play me. It's like Zooey Deschanel is like that. I don't know my age. I'm really bad at videoing actors. I said I am just so bad with names of people. I said Zooey Deschanel, both because I think it would be good and because
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the names. Oh, okay, all right, that's good. That works. Let's see here. Okay, so what would your autobiography be called when you write one?
I feel like it would be called
That works. That works.
Yeah. I think it's no. I'm so sorry. Not sorry. That's a Demi
I'm so
Lovato.
sorry, not sorry.
That's not what I meant.
That's very deep, though.
That it is deep. I didn't mean to stick. I didn't mean to do that. That's not really what I think, but I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, that's cool. I like it. That is very deep. Okay, here we go. This is probably the question that led to a lot of discussion. You're on a raft.
Awkward pause. I delayed. That's what it'd be called. It'd be called awkward pause.
It'd be called awkward pause, or pause it. Awkward pause. Okay.
Yeah, one pause. That's the whole thing. I'm sorry I cut you off. I just have a better answer.
Look out for that book, people. It's about Carly's life. It's called Awkward Pause. It'll be in all the bookstores. Perfect. Well, no, actually now it's more like the e-readers like Nook and all that, right? It's true. But isn't it satisfying to flip a page? Do people do that anymore?
I do. I am.
You do? Okay.
Books. I'm not. I don't like reading from screens. I truly hate it. I can't do it.
I like actual books too. They're pretty cool. Okay, so you're on a raft or a boat, whatever. So you're with a nun, an old man, and a baby, but there's only room for 3 of you. So you got to push one of them off the boat. They're not going to make it to shore. They're just going to drown maybe. I don't know, but you got to push one of them off. Who are you pushing off the boat?
Do I have to push someone off, or is it like a numbers game? Like, can I
see this? A numbers game. What do you mean?
Like, is it like, oh, there can't be 4 people on the raft? Or is it like, no, specifically, it's only that one of these 3 has to leave? Like, can I leave?
You can. People have wanted to voluntarily jump off the boat.
Voluntarily jump off. I can't end any of their lives.
You can. Wow, that's very nice.
I'm so sorry.
It's a nice answer, but oh my God, I hate it when people do that. Like, why be nice? It's a hypothetical thing. I don't know. But anyways, well, that's very noble.
I feel like the funny answer is try to guilt trip the nun into it. But I don't think that's.
There you go.
I think my real answer is I would jump off, but I feel like the fun answer is the other answer.
Yeah, maybe like before you jump off, you just guilt trip the nun, then you jump off and hoping the nun will jump off too. And then
it's like, I'm gonna go
right. Oh man, I've gotten many answers for that. Like old man, people have chosen old man because he's lived his life. The baby because they haven't lived the life yet, so it doesn't matter. Pretty sad. The nun because she's gonna give religious advice and stuff, so we don't want that. All right. All right, here we go. Name an actor, actress, comedian who you would want to meet, dead or alive, and what would you talk about?
I would want to meet John Mulaney.
Okay.
And I want to hear all of his Catholic school stories and compare notes.
Nice.
That's what I want. I so badly.
Yeah.
I want to know if they're really all the same. That's all it is.
That's awesome. That would be a great conversation, I think, between you two. I think that would be great. Okay, here we go. You're at a convenience store, like Walgreens or CVS. I don't know, whatever you guys have over there. Rite Aid, I think. I don't know. But what items would you buy at the store to make the cashier really uncomfortable?
Okay. It would definitely have to be like zip ties, duct tape. Oh my God, I can't.
Nice. Stuff you buy at 3 a.m. in the morning so you're caught on surveillance.
Zip ties, duct tape. It's a joke. I promise it's a joke. It's just to make the cashier uncomfortable. lollipops, and then that's all of them.
Lollipops. Oh my God. All right, we're gonna move quickly to the next question.
Quickly on.
Moving on. Favorite TV comedy TV series right now?
New Girl.
Yes, there you go. Cool.
On like the 5. Yeah, it's amazing.
I heard it's really good.
Oh my God.
Okay, last question. Ragu or Prego?
Ragu.
All right. You hesitate a little bit there, but that's okay.
Sorry.
Well, those are all the random questions. You did really well. I love the answers. Guys, check out Carly on Instagram at Carly Polistina. Are you on Twitter too? Same handle?
I am not on Twitter.
Okay.
I am on
not
TikTok.
on Twitter. But you're on TikTok. What's your handle on TikTok?
Carly Polistina.
Same. Okay. Carly Polistina on TikTok. Check out her videos. Check out her website. Really awesome stuff. She's going to be at the Burbank Comedy Festival. Anybody listening from LA or will be later, you can listen to this interview. So, and then Broadway Comedy Club, New York City, July 10th, right? July 10th.
Yes, July 10th.
Yes, July 10th at the Broadway Comedy Club. So, Carly, thank you so much for being on. I know she's going to be hosting a Zoom show tonight. What's the show tonight? Is there?
Oh, this is just a Zoom open mic. So
Zoom open mic. Cool.
Gotta roll through. It'll be a bop in time.
Nice. Awesome. Well, have fun hosting, and thank you so much for being on, and I'll see you in Burbank in August.
See you there.
All right. Bye, Carly. Take care. Bye. That was Carly Polistina, you guys. Oh my God. She's done so much in Zoom comedy last year. That's when I met her. And she will be at the Burbank Comedy Festival. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to have another show next week. I'll be posting whoever my guest will be next week on my Facebook. So follow me on at RRA Comic and look for future shows. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you guys all listening. And this has been Talking Funny. My name is Ragu Batla. Have a good night. Bye.